trouble in life. There's going to be struggle. There's going to be difficulties. Okay? But anyway, if we do have this expectation, again, it is unrealistic expectation that we would never experience pain. That could, if that's the way you feel and that's the way you think, you could definitely develop anger towards God. So how can I handle my anger over the losses in my life? When you're experiencing a significant loss in your life, you will go through a time of grieving. Okay? When we think about grieving, what do we normally think about or associate it with? Loss of a loved one. Absolutely. But what we have to understand and try to comprehend is that yes, while there is grieving with the loss of loved one, and we need to be able to allow ourselves to grieve, everybody needs to grieve. Everybody grieves in their own time frame. I grieve will probably be completely different from the time that Mike grieves. Okay? But there's other situations where we need to be able to approach these things the same way. Like in relationships. Okay? Now we all know that in divorce, that most time it splits and everybody, the two parties go their own way or whatever, but there's still it needs to be a grieving process. Okay? Now, would it be as long as the loss of a loved one? May depend on the situation. If there's kids involved, and especially if you're the husband, because we know that the majority of the time the husband does not get custody. Now, that's one thing in Texas that I've noticed. It is a little bit different. It does happen. I've heard it happen a lot more here than when I lived back in Arkansas. Never heard of it back there. Never. But, if you go from being in a household with your kids every single day and every night to all of a sudden you're separated from them, there's going to be a time of grieving, And if we can learn to grieve the proper way, it would make life a lot easier on us.
What's the proper way?
Yeah, that's a very good question, Bruce, because, what is the proper way, And I know things that you shouldn't do. What you should do probably is a little bit harder to answer. Shouldn't turn to drugs, shouldn't turn to alcohol. because
been there, done that.
Been there, done that too, Mike. I failed at it miserably. You know, very good question, bro. I mean, I got to do some thinking on that. I mean, some of the things, I mean, we've got to me, that just right off the top of my head that I'm thinking about is that we need to try to be able to understand that you're going to be hurt. You're going to be deeply hurt over that. You know, especially when we're talking about divorce and the kids involved. Okay? You know, because, again, you're there every night and then all of a sudden, you know, for the most part, most of the time it's every other weekend. You know, so you see them for 2 nights out of every 16 nights. And
yeah, I guess in the case of losing a loved one, you know, there comes a point, or in losing a companion of some kind, whether it's a family member or not, there comes a point in your life where you realize, well, life goes on, you know. I can't stay in this hole here. I got to start going forward. There's things I have to take care of, you know, around me. You know, go ahead and grieve and deal with it, you know, in your spirit, you have to deal with it. There's certain things that just are not going to wait. You've got to go on by. Got to pay bills.
And when, you know, when you,
unless you just want to lay down and die with them, you know, die grieving them. I knew a guy, and I was reminded of this guy a couple of days ago, and I've been thinking on him a long time. Years and years ago, we used to work a lot of winos and drunks, you know, miscreants. And this one little boy had gone to school with my dad. And he was drunk. He's an alcoholic, put it that way. But the reason that he became an alcoholic, his wife of 20 years left him, you know. When the kids got grown enough where they could more or less make it, she walked out and she moved to another town. And she was a school teacher. And she immediately went to work and just set up housekeeping on her own, you know, in a different city. And he never got over that. Man, he grieved that years and years and years. By the time I met him, he was so eaten up with DTs and just couldn't resist taking a drink, you know, had to have a drink all the time. It flat killed him. It drove him to his grave. Nothing you could do to help him. He didn't desire to help himself. He didn't want to get out of that hole. And then yet there was another one about his same age that was alcoholic. And he was a machinist. When he started using his paper merchandise, he He'd buy, uh, uh, we call them, microwave ovens, television sets, pistols, all kinds of merchandise, valuable merchandise, good quality merchandise. He stacked that house at 2 or 3 bedrooms, stacked plumb to the ceiling. Merchandise. Why? It was the money that he had drank up or had been accustomed to drinking, but he turned it into merchandise, and he never touched another drop. But when he finally died, his wife had pretty good income just selling that stuff in the refrigerator. Every time she run out of money, she'd go sell something, advertise it, or take it to a hot shop or something, But, this kind of stuff, that gets into addiction and whatnot. Breathing part works on different people in different ways. You have to wake up at some point. You got to wake up and out of the road and realize I got to quit this grief.
Yeah, I mean, man, is it hard? Yeah, it's hard. I think we have to look at ourselves and look at our past and try to ask ourselves some questions. And are they going to be tough questions? Yeah, they are.
Certainly.
But did I do did I do what was right in this relationship? Did I treat my spouse the right way? Did I provide? And talking about providing, as I look at scripture, it just says that if you don't work, you don't eat. Did I work it? Might not have put T-bone steaks on the plate every night, but was there food on the table? I may not live in a 6-bedroom mansion, but was there a roof over our heads?
Yeah.
Because we're by with a lot less than what we normally do.
Got to take care of the necessities.
Did I provide necessities? Yes, okay. On the other hand, if you cheated on your spouse, then how can we deal with that? Own up to it, admit it to God, ask God to forgive you. Did I make a mistake? Yes, I made it. Yes. May have started out a mistake, but they go on for 10 years. Well, after a while it don't become a mistake, it becomes a habit. But still again, am I remorseful for it now? Okay, I am. Have I asked God to forgive me? Yes. Do I know He's forgiven me? Yes, He says He would. Okay? So
that's one of the problems that we have today, though, is we're so used, through the years, we have become so accustomed to people saying one thing and something else coming out of the process. So we're just lied to.
yeah,
So if you don't, in my opinion, if you don't have a personal one-on-one relationship, I mean a really personal, where you can listen, you can talk to God, and you can listen to Him, you will be sorely disappointed because the devil, he can do the same thing. He can tell you, oh yeah, you're forgiven, no big deal. Now we're going to do this to you.
yeah,
He can jump in there and manipulate it any way he wants to. But if you really know God, I mean, if you truly have a one-on-one relationship, you'll know His voice. If you don't, they'll drag you through the parking lot out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, because we got to understand, uh, Satan, he knows the word.
Yeah,
You know, and he not to change a word or two here or there, and to get us to look at it differently than what we really should. But my point is this: is that we've got, when it comes to grieving, we've got two choices. We can lay down and live in it and wallow in it, or we can continue on with our life and know that we still have time left to do things, to accomplish things. Does that mean that you don't ever get down, you don't ever get depressed? Absolutely no.
trials and tribulations.
But I've got a second cousin. Me and her mom, we were first cousins. Me and her mom were very close. I mean, she's 4 or 5 years older than me, but still, my uncle was, the baby of the family. He was the one. He was younger than my mother, so my mother looked at him as the baby of the family, of her brothers. But my second cousin, this week, I think it was Tuesday, was the day that she found my cousin dead. Found her mom dead. And it's been 10 years. And she just goes on and on and on and on and on Facebook, And I'm like, okay, I can understand to be sentimental on that day, especially if you found your loved one dead, that's kind of hard to grab a hold of. But it's kind of sad too, I look at it as, okay, it's kind of sad that I've got a cousin now that, seems like she's had a hard time just, moving past it. That she's still grieving pretty heavy even 10 years later. So.
Yeah. I've got a little sister that grieves enough for all of us. So.
You're a firm handle on that, though.
Yeah, she agreed for me. Mom and Dad, and 2 years later, my brother died on her birthday, and a little sister just, every year, Mom's birthday, she is so sad. She's down in the dumps like you can't imagine. It's like dragging 100-pound weight, 200-pound weight across the yard. You just have to get her to wake up. Come on.
Yeah. To me, I don't see it, and I don't think of it as being insensitive, not caring. you know?
No.
But did you get back? How much time?
Yeah.
You know, I do believe 10 years is a little bit on the excessive side, you know. I'm not saying, well, you know, been 10 years, you know, I found my mom 10 years ago. Okay.
How do you determine the amount of time though?
Yeah.
Yep, and
Some deal with it easier than others.
yep. All right, 8 o'clock, I think we're gonna stop that here for tonight and pick back up with this next week. But I do have a, saying that that's it. I'm not doing no more. I'm not adding no more topics. I'm not adding no more studies, no more discussions. And then it seems like God spanks me and says, I'm not through with you yet. So, another new study coming. We already started working on it. But I think this is going to be, I think he is really showing me some stuff and giving me some good information and stuff. And so, building better boundaries. How to build better boundaries. That will be coming up after anger. Okay? So I will have probably a couple more weeks before I have material ready and printed. Like I said, I've already started putting it together. I've already started compiling information and literature and articles and all this kind of stuff. Trying to think of it'll be in September. I'm thinking probably somewhere around the second, third week of September. Okay. But I will be announcing it on Facebook, and I'll be announcing it probably won't be this Saturday at church in here. Probably another week before I'll be announcing it, but I'll be announcing it pretty soon. Okay. So, thank y'all for showing up. Bruce, thank you for being here. Hope you got something out of it. Like I said, that book is yours. You take it.
I don't leave the pen, though.
Huh?
I don't leave the pen.
But we hope to see you maybe back next week. We'll be back here.
And I know which door to go to. I won't circle the building.
Did you circle the building today?
Much. Yeah, I hold on doors until I was blue in the face. I thought, well, they gotta be here somewhere. There's cars here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of, a lot of people do go to the front doors up there, the double glass doors.
Big arrow pointing here to this.
Yeah, I know it.
Well, enough people keep showing up, they'll know, where the cars are parked at.
Yeah. Well, I used to park right at the end of the building there on Thursday nights, and I'd have people that, every once in a while there'd be somebody come and they would try to go in the front doors. And so that's the reason why I started parking over here, because I'm always, of course, I'm always the first one here. So that's the reason why I started parking over there. But they still, anyway, they still go to different doors. Yeah, this is a pretty good sized building to have to walk around.
That's okay, I made it.
Yeah, that's good. Alrighty. Well, alright. Well, we'll be back next Thursday night at 7. If you're on Facebook, Facebook or YouTube, you can join me on Tuesday nights. Just look for our Facebook page, and I'll be on there live on Tuesday nights. I'm talking about narcissism, which we just finished that up in here about 3 weeks ago. So